Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel, who are watching this channel for the first time, the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions. But not everyone uses logic. So for that reason, it is called uncommon sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Also, I need to let you know that the subscriber mode has been enabled. That means that if you are not a subscriber, and if you wish to enter a comment in the chat, you will need to subscribe to the channel. Um, as always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who have already subscribed to the channel and have become a member of the Uncommon Folk. I really appreciate all the love and all the support all of you have given me. Some of you from the very beginning. Thank you very much. Also, want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media. Okay, I really appreciate your love and your support. And I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices. So, what I'm going to ask you to do is the following. If you have not done so, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So, therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. Okay. Now, tonight is going to be another episode open discussion, which what happens is I talk about random topics. Also, if you have anything that you want me to discuss, you can enter it in the chat. I also want to let everybody know that the link to join the panel has been pinned. So if anyone feels comfortable in joining me in the panel and expressing their point of view, by all means, hop on board. Okay. So now this is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to start out with what the heck this is, and basically the recipient is a group effort. So let's cue the music. Okay. Now, who is the recipient of the What the Heck This Is award? Okay. This time it is a group effort. Okay. Um, and it's being directed towards a football team known as the Denver Broncos. Now, for those of you who follow the NFL, okay, there was a game between the Broncos and the Dolphins. Okay. To say that the Broncos got whipped, that's putting it minor. Okay. Actually, the Denver Broncos was beaten 70-20, folks. Now, you heard that right. 70-20. So if this was not a collegiate football game, this was not a collegiate basketball game. This was a football game between allegedly two professional football franchises. Okay. Now, 70 points is the third highest total ever given up to opposition in NFL history. Okay. And just to give you an idea of how bad this team, the Broncos' performance were. Okay. That actually gave up 726 yards of total offense. So it's like we're topping a biblical butt killing, butt whipping. I mean, that is what happened. Now, what I'm going to do is, excuse me, what I'm going to do is, just give me a moment. I'm going to share, let's see, just give me a moment. I'm going to find So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to load a couple of videos that I posted on my YouTube account. Um, and I think the video will speak for itself. So just give me a moment. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute your sound and show you the video.
All right, we need to talk about this game. This looks like a college football score. No team should be getting beaten down by 50 points. I shouldn't have to hear announcers say that the Dolphins dropped a 70 burger on the Broncos today. There's a lot of hope for the Broncos coming into the season considering how awful it was last year. This might be a team that Sean Payton can't even turn around. Just looking at some stats from the game, A-Chain, the Dolphins' second, he's considered their second running back. 18 carries for 203 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mostert, 13 carries, 82 yards, 3 touchdowns. Broncos, run defense? Is it alive? Now, it's hard to put your run defense out there when the other team has Tyreek Hill going 157 yards on 9 receptions. The Broncos are looking like a bottom 5 team, and the Dolphins are just looking better and better every week. Dolphins are 100% my AFC pick for the Super Bowl.
I think the prediction that the Dolphins are going to win the Super Bowl, I think it's being premature. First of all, it's a 17-game season, and basically there is a series of playoffs. Depending on where it is your ranking, okay? Unless you are the number one seed, in other words, the team with the best record in your conference, um, you're going to play a wild cards round, a divisional round, and then a conference round, and then there's the Super Bowl. Okay, which in any if you get beat any one of those times, that's your season ends there. But I'm sorry, but to give up 70 points in a football game, really, that's that's criminal in my book. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show another video just to give another interesting point of view. So let's give me a moment. Okay. And just as a reminder, y'all welcome to enter a comment in the chat. And if you wish to join the panel, okay. So now I'm going to mute myself. Now, I gotta admit, if I was a Broncos fan, I would have been crying at halftime. I mean, going into the fourth quarter, they already scored 56 points against this pitiful excuse of a team. Okay, 56 points, that was already a slaughter to begin with. But to tag on two additional touchdowns on top of that, do you know how pathetic that was? Good Lord have mercy. So I'm going to show another clip. Mhm. And again, I'm going to mute. Well, first I'm going to share, then mute.
When you think of the worst performances in NFL history, you're thinking about the Broncos today. The Broncos just gave up 70 points to the Dolphins, which is the third most points a team has ever scored in NFL history. The only other two times a team has allowed 70 points in a game was in 1966, and before that, it was in 1940, which was during World War II. So the chances are that if you're watching this video, you were not alive to see a worse performance than what the Broncos did today. But not only did the Broncos give away 70 points, they also allowed 726 yards, which is 9 yards short of the NFL record. And that record was set in 1951 by the Rams when they played against the Yanks, who most of you guys probably haven't even heard of. I didn't know who they were before this. But this brings the question, should relegation be added to the NFL? Because there's seriously no way this team should be in the NFL right now. They allowed Robbie Chosen to score a touchdown on them. This guy can't even decide what he wants his name to be, and you're letting him score a bomb on you? Sean Payton is a complete fraud. Russell Wilson needs to be arrested for robbery right now. And now the Broncos are frontrunners for the Caleb Williams sweepstakes.
Long time no see, Moon Chaser. How you doing? I hope that you're doing well, my friend. Okay. Tonight we're just doing open discussion. So basically, I'm just doing my roasting of the Denver Broncos, considering their performance. Well, if you want to call it performance against the Miami Dolphins. Okay. I think the Miami Dolphins are a great team. They're that good. They can score 70 points against everybody. I don't know. I don't know. But it's safe to say that was like one of the most pitiful performances that a professional football team should do. And in my thing, they shouldn't have given the fans their money back, because the Bronco fans, I'm sorry, they did not get their money's worth. So now I'm just going to show you one more video clip, and then I'm going to go into the next topic I'm going to talk about. Okay. Well, you know what? We shall see. We shall see. Time will tell. Okay. I am not that knowledgeable of football, but I'm sure the 49ers would never, not even in their worst days, giving up 70 points against another professional football team. I can say that without any hesitation. Okay. So now I'm just going to share my screen.
My goodness, I haven't clicked on this game in a minute because I've been like making the package out of the closer games. But my God, 56 points for Miami, and we're just at the start of the fourth quarter. Broncos country, let's cry a river. Oh my God.
Yeah, my sentiments exactly. Okay. I mean, you have to have, okay. To give up that many points, you have to have a special what can I say, level of incompetence in order to give up that many points. But okay, but I think I have done roasting the Denver Broncos, or well, okay. So we're gonna go from another team um, that's had a disappointing season. My beloved New York Yankees. It looks like this is going to be the year that the Yankees will not make the playoffs. Okay, and it's a big disappointment. And what's even disappointing is that the last time the Yankees were in the World Series was back in 2009. Okay, which was the beginning of the Obama administration. Now, this is 2023. So we're talking about 14 years of a World Series drought. What can I say about that? I mean, there's going to have to be some major decisions that are going to be made. Okay. Somehow, if George Steinbrenner was alive, I'm sure this wouldn't happen. Good evening, Malala Vanguard. Thank you very much for stopping by. Tonight is just basically open discussion. So I'm just talking about things that are on my mind. I don't know if you are a consumer of American football, but I just did my roasting of the Denver Broncos for giving up 70 points to the Miami Dolphins. I mean, that's pathetic. Okay, that's truly pathetic. But as far now going back to the Yankees, I know people. There are people that there are players that get hurt, and then there's players who don't live up to the expectations and things of that nature. I get it. And also it's a 162 game season. That's why you have a whole team. But nevertheless, it is a disappointment that Yankees. I'm not going to make the playoffs, but shout out to the teams that did. Oh, and will. Okay. Want to watch the World Series? Maybe. Okay. But if the Yankees are not in it, it's not the same thing. But it is what it is. So I'm going to go into the next topic. And again, let me just remind everyone that the link to join the panel has been pinned. If anyone feels comfortable join the panel, they can do so. If anyone wants to make any comments, they can do so as well. Okay. One thing that's been getting annoying at times is the beefs. Okay. Now I get it. People have beefs with everybody, with some people. Okay. And I'm sure that they have legit reasons for having those beefs. Okay. Now, if you want to go on your platform and trash talk whoever you're having a beef with, go ahead. Do it to your heart's content, okay? However, when it comes to my platform, I really would appreciate it that you leave that at the front door. First of all, I don't want to get involved in your beefs. Okay. Number one. Number two, this is a neutral. Okay, this is a neutral site. Okay. Everyone, and I repeat, everyone is allowed to express their point of view in a respectable way. Okay, and I mean anybody. All I ask is that we be mutually respectable. Okay. And I understand there might be people that might be on the panel or might be people in the chat that you don't feel, you don't have a warm, tingling feeling towards, and that's perfectly fine. Okay. But I'm gonna ask that instead of going back and forth, if it make you feel any better, just speak with me. Okay. That's all. I mean, and if you can't, and if you cannot be mature and then just put your beefs to the side, maybe I need to stop banning some people as well. Okay, I don't like to do it, but this is a chill platform. This is a safe platform. Everyone is allowed to respectfully share their point of view. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about is we're entering another election season. Okay. I don't know. Of course, every year, we always ask the question: does our vote matter? Okay, and this is how I like to interpret it. It all depends on what are your expectations. Now, I believe it was last year I conducted a stream where I spoke about does our vote matter? And this is what I said. It all depends. If you're talking about like on the local level, say for the city council or the community board or even your representative in Congress, to a certain extent, your vote does matter. Okay. When it comes to things like the presidential elections and for the Senate, I mean, particularly when it comes to presidential elections, it doesn't make that much of a difference in a way, because one thing we have to bear in mind that here in this country, what determines who is the winner of the presidential election is the electoral college. Okay, say what you will, wish about it, good, bad, indifferent, whatever, but that's the current state of affairs. And of course, in order to become president, you have to have at least 270 electoral votes. Okay. I know that there's people that have been talking about doing away with the electoral college. The problem is the reality that it benefits both political parties. Okay. Because you can have a state where the candidate wins by, say, a few hundred votes. And then you can have another state when the candidate wins by a huge number. And the results are the same. That candidate gets the all of the electoral votes in a given state. Okay. So I know there's been always be talk about, well, it should be based on the popular vote. Okay. that will be fine, except for one thing. I don't think that's going to happen. As long as both parties can benefit with the electoral college. Now, what we do need is we do need a viable third party, okay, that could make things challenging for both the Democrat and the Republican Party. Okay. The problem is this, as always, it goes down to money, 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 money. Okay. And as long as it's good, as long as that's always going to be the case, we're gonna have to pick between a Democrat or a Republican. That's that's the reality. Now, another thing that I've been thinking about going forward, uh, there might be some topics that I'm going to try to avoid. Okay, and the reason why it's the following: um, most people. Uh, Let me rephrase that. Most people who are mentally stable, okay, they're able to engage in discussion regarding multiple topics. Okay, we may disagree, but usually we could be agreeable when we disagree, and it's just a matter of expressing your point of view. And then sometimes you might be right, sometimes I might be right. But the problem is, we here in DC two streets, we have individuals who get very emotional regarding a particular point of view. So emotional that things get heated here. And there have been a few times when things get heated over here on this platform. Um, Particularly when it comes to issues and topics when it comes to gender roles. Okay. Now, those of you who have watched my platform, what I have always strived to do is whenever I discuss a topic regarding gender issues, I try very hard to be fair and impartial and to state the facts. And when I'm addressing the flaws regarding um, a group of people, I try to make it perfectly clear that not everyone is guilty of that flaw, but that some are. And you could be either male or female. Unfortunately, uh, there have been certain individuals who cannot handle adult, mature conversation. Okay. So going forward, I'm going to be a little bit more careful regarding the topics that I'm going to discuss because unfortunately it does tend to heighten emotional feelings regarding certain members of the peanut gallery. Okay. And it might be times when I may have to close the panel in order to discuss these topics because unfortunately not everyone is able to have a serious discussion regarding a topic without becoming emotional. We have seen this far too many times here on these YouTube streets. Okay, so the next thing is one thing I've been doing lately is trying to find new creators that I can consume their content, and maybe when the time is appropriate, maybe join the panels. There's like one or two new creators. One of them is an individual known as Listen to Lewis. So I've watched his podcast a couple times. He seems to be a very level-headed, educated dude. The problem is he does his podcast in the middle of the day, and during the week it gets very hard because I'm working. Okay, and so a lot of times I have to watch his content on the playback. But it is, I think he has potential. I think he could be a great creator. Time will tell. So I will try to find other platforms. Of course, it could be a bit of a challenge because basically I'm the type of person I like to go to spaces where people can express their viewpoints rationally, and not everyone is capable of doing that. So let's see. Now, sometime next month, I will be doing some content regarding Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Okay. Unfortunately, we have people, um, female and sometimes male. Unfortunately, they are victims of domestic violence. And what I'm going to be discussing is some of the things that they have to go through, and some of the difficulties that they experience. Okay, and unfortunately, people can be very judgmental when it comes to these people who are victims of domestic violence. Okay, and of course, the question is, why don't they just leave? Okay, first of all, it's very easy for us who have not been in that type of environment to say that we don't know what these poor people been through. Okay, we do not know of their trauma, and it could be that one of the reasons why they have not left their situation is because they are dependent on the abuser, whether it be for financial support, whether it be for clothing or whatever, or some sort of um, support. So, and also there is a higher risk of violence uh, should they attempt to leave. So, I will be discussing that sometime next month. I will discuss it further next. If I don't do it this week, I'll definitely discuss it further next week, because it's a serious topic. Also, I have to be mindful of the fact that for some people, it could be triggering because it might bring back terrible memories. It is not my purpose uh, to make people go through the ordeal again. It is my intention to highlight that the problem exists and that there are ways to deal with it. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with all of you. Of course, when I do this, when I do that stream, I will allow anyone who wishes to share it, so the information can be assimilated to as many people as possible. Because one of the things that's been a hallmark of this channel is discussing everyday issues and trying to find solutions. Okay, and while it may not sound all that glamorous, but that's my mission statement. Okay, so let's see what else. As always, as always, anyone and everyone who wishes to come to this platform and to interact with myself or with anyone on the panel or with anyone in the chat in a respectable way, they're more than welcome to do so. Okay. If they're going to come on the platform and they're going to cause friction, whether it be with anyone in the chat, whether it be anyone on the panel or with me, they will be given a warning. If they choose not to comply, they will be either removed from the panel or they're going to be blocked. Okay. It's getting kind of old going back and forth with all these beefs. And again, let me make this perfectly clear. If you want to go and rail against someone on your own platform, by all means, go do it. Just don't do it on my platform. Okay? Okay, let's see what else. Let me just give you an update regarding my health. So, in 2 months, I have lost 8 pounds. So, I'm happy to say that. But I have to lose more weight. First of all, there's 2 reasons why. One is health, is for my well-being, my health, and also to ease the pressure on my infected knee. So, eventually, I will need surgery to address the problem. I will let all of you know when that occurs. I might have to take a break from doing these live streams in order to recover. Fortunately, I do have enough material that I can do a rebroadcast on streams that people might have missed. Okay. Of course, the Owl Show did make his announcement regarding not posting any more content on his channel. He has another channel. I think it's called the writer Albert Manier. Well, in any case, he indicated that the reason why is that it was meant to be only a temporary situation, if I understand it correctly. All I'm gonna say is I don't wish him any ill will. Okay, we have disagreements in the past, but that's his decision. He is the creator of his platform. He can do whatever he deems appropriate. So that's all I'm going to say on that. Now, another thing I'm going to address is this. I understand there's going to be people that are going to take shots at me. They're going to do reaction videos about me. They're going to paint a negative narrative for whatever the fluff reason. Good evening, Irby. Thank you very much for stopping by. Tonight is open discussion. What I'm going to say is the following. If you have to resort to do streams about me instead of trying to come up with your own content, that's pathetic and weak, in my estimation. Okay? Now, I get it. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. Okay? There are people that don't like my content. There are people who don't like the fact that I run my platform as I see fit. I understand that people don't like the fact that I tend to associate with those I associate with. My philosophy has been I don't police whom others associate with. Okay. So I expect the same treatment as well. And if you have a problem with that, you know what? Bless your heart. That's all I'm going to say. But I am not going to be doing reaction videos for every time someone does a stream talking about me. I mean, what that just shows that I'm living rent free in your minds. Okay? I am thus one of many creators here on these YouTube streets that week in and week out try to provide content which hopefully you you enjoy consuming. Okay. I don't have the time, I don't have the energy to worry about who likes me, who doesn't like me. I don't have the time, energy to worry about those who get beat because of the people I choose to hang out with. Okay? All I'm going to say is the following. Don't let the door hit you with the good Lord split you. Okay? And get a life. Okay? And this is not directed towards anyone. This is just a general statement regarding those that have issues with me, who have issues with my platform, who have issues with who I hang out with. Yeah, I agree. And of course, shout out to the people that are watching this, even those that are watching in the clouds, because I mean, hey, at least you're enjoying. You appear to be enjoying my content. Okay, and I don't claim to be perfect. Okay, I am just like I said, I'm just one that's trying to produce quality content. Okay, and I know who I am, and I'm happy with who I am. Okay. Unfortunately, you have individuals that are not, for whatever reason. Okay. Now, one thing I will be doing. I'm going to give my reaction to other creators' content. Okay. So basically, I'm just going to give like an honest critique. Okay. What I like about it, what I have issues with it. Okay. It's not meant to talk trash. It's not meant to be nasty. It's just simply just to give a critique. And I imagine there are people who are giving their critique regarding my content. So all I'm going to say is, you're entitled to your opinion. I don't have to agree with it, but you're entitled to your opinion. Okay. Let's see. And of course, week in from week out, um, we have people who are supporters of this platform, um, and then those who are watching the clouds. Okay. And then it could be many reasons why they do so. Maybe they don't want to be acknowledged um, that they're watching me, or they prefer to be incognito, so to say. You know what? Whatever makes you feel comfortable, that's perfectly fine. Okay. I would appreciate if more people subscribe to the channel, but hey, you know, one thing I noticed that a large portion of my audience is under the age of 44. Okay. Uh, let's see. Let me just go into. Okay, I'm not gonna show it. I'm just gonna. Let's see. Just give me a moment. All right. Excuse me. Sorry. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna talk about the analytics, which is my audience. Okay. Okay. Now, one thing I noticed that almost 80% of my audience, it's from the ages 18 to 44. And that I find unique. Okay, because my content is not, I don't consider my content geared towards a particular generation. It's just basically geared to people who like to think and use their gray matter. But just to give you an idea, over 16% of my viewing audience for the last 28 days were from the age group 18 to 24. The largest group is the 25 to 34 age group, and that's over 38%. And then the next largest is the group from ages 35 to 44, and that's 33 and a third percent. So basically, 1/3 of my audience for the last 28 days consists of basically uh, millennials and Gen Z people. And then from the 55 to 64 age group to slightly over 12%. Okay. As far as gender, 66% of my audience is male, and the rest is female. Okay. Which I find interesting, considering that I don't do content that's specifically geared towards women. It's more like geared to those who can think rationally, who can act rationally, and has some gray cells that have not deteriorated in the process. So what I'm going to do is, let's see. Oh, one more thing. One thing I will be doing is I'm going to be doing a lot more sharing. Okay. So if I come across a stream, whether one YouTube creator that supports me, if I find it to be highly noteworthy, I will share it on my community tab. Okay. Because I know that others that have shared my content. And I just want to say to all those who have actually shared my content on all platforms, I just want to say thank you very much. I really appreciate all the love and all the support all of you give me. Okay. And sometimes I treat this as like a competition. Um, in my case, the only one I'm competing against is myself, in the sense that I'm trying to create um, the highest quality content possible. That is my goal. That is my mission statement. Okay, I'm not here to compete against certain YouTube creators per se. My job is to try to be the best version of Hossein Negron. My job is to present the most highly competent, professional content as much as possible. Okay, and I appreciate the fact that I have not had so many technical snafus lately than I have. Okay, of course it helps when you have equipment that works. Okay, and also Wi-Fi that doesn't go chinky on you. Okay, now I do feel for Multi though, because it seems like every time she does a stream, she has some issue regarding the link. I did suggest to her to reach out to StreamYard as far as see if there's something technical on their end that they can do to rectify the problem, because that could be the most challenging thing in the world, is that when you are trying to produce a live calling show and you have technical difficulties and then you're helpless to try to resolve them, because it seems like the computer has a mind of its own or the Wi-Fi has a mind of its own, and people don't always cooperate. Okay, so that can be a problem. Okay, so I have been talking for almost an hour. So let me just discuss with you what's going to be the topic for tomorrow's stream. And it's going to be regarding those things about your job that you hate. Okay. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be discussing those things that lead you not to be happy with your place of employment. Okay, and it could be a lot of factors: low pay, little opportunity for promotion, toxic environment, toxic supervision, toxic managers, lack of resources, undefined roles. I mean, I can go on and on and on regarding what are those things that cause people to hate their jobs. Okay. So I will be discussing that tomorrow night. Now, I still have not narrowed down what's going to be the subject regarding my stream on Friday night. I will share this information tomorrow, hopefully. Okay. And of course, I will be on most likely 9 o'clock. Okay. But as far as domestic violence is concerned, I'm going to try to do that. If not the first week, but definitely the second week, because we need to discuss this topic. Okay. It's sad that we have people who are victims of domestic violence. But that is the reality. And unfortunately, with the COVID-19 crisis, it have made the situation worse due to the isolation. Okay, so with that being said, if anyone wishes to join the panel, the link has been pinned. If anyone wishes to enter another comment, they may do so. If neither happens, then I'll start to wrap this up. Okay. And I realize there'll be days when I'll be doing a monologue. Okay. And to be perfectly honest, it used to bother me at first, but now I'm at the stage where I can at least have enough material that I can talk for an hour. Okay. But in either case, as always, I do appreciate all the love and support all of you have given me. Okay. And to be perfectly honest, there's quite a few creators that I have missed because they've been not producing any content. One of them is Moon Chaser. Yeah, I know it's a topic. I know that's a touchy topic, but it has to be discussed. And I'm going to do my best to try to do it in a way that's not judgmental. Okay. I might have to reach out to some of the create and other creators and maybe close the panel. I don't know. That's something that I'm gonna have to think about. Okay, but one thing we do have to understand that males and females both can be victims of domestic violence. Okay. Of course, when we think about it, we automatically apply it to the women, and of course, women are victims of this hideous crime. Okay, and of course, women have to deal with a lot of scars, not just the physical, but also the mental. So yeah, I understand it could be a very touchy topic, and I might have to think about closing the panel. Okay. What I will do is I'll probably start reaching out to some of the YouTube creators. There's a few that I might reach out to. Okay. I don't know whether I'm going to close the panel or not. Because people can get emotional, and people sometimes act a certain way when it comes to the topic. But a huge shout out to the people who are watching right now. Okay, I would definitely appreciate it if you have not already done so, to hit the like button. Okay, it doesn't cost you anything, and it does help my algorithms. Okay, but in any case, I'm going to start to wrap this up. Okay, good evening, Don Armando. How are you doing tonight? Thank you very much for stopping by. tonight's topic is open discussion. So I was just discussing some things that was on my mind. One of the things I, of course, I did discuss was that pitiful performance that the Denver Broncos did with the Miami Dolphins, giving up 70 points in a professional football game. Now that's pathetic. Okay. And I see. Okay, good. I see you. Okay. I need to go. Okay, I don't know. I need to go to the gym myself. It's just that I need to find the time. But you know something? You know what is the most pathetic professional football performance? Was one Super Bowl with the Atlanta Falcons and the New England Patriots. Now the Falcons actually had a 25-point lead going into the fourth quarter. You would think that with a 25-point advantage, that would lead to a Super Bowl victory. Okay. Yeah. I mean, look, that was a slaughter. I mean, you know what? This should have been a mercy rule in there, because that was, oh my Lord, that was so pathetic. That was so tragic. Okay, but would you believe that the Falcons lost the Super Bowl to the Patriots in overtime, and they had a 25-point lead? I mean, that was, you know what? I'm trying to think. Okay. You know what? Let me just do a quick Google search. Let's see. Just give me a moment. Okay. Okay. Just give me a moment. And I'll let you know right now. Okay. Just give me more. I'm just going through. Actually, it was 2017. It was Super Bowl 51. Okay. And they lost to the Patriots 34-28. So it was in 2017. Okay. Now, this is my question. How do you blow a 25-point lead in the Super Bowl? How? I mean, look, how do you do that? I mean, yeah, okay. Yeah. But this is my okay. But this is a question, and I'll discuss it a little bit before I wrap this up. How on earth do you have a 25-point lead going late into the game in the Super Bowl, only to lose it in overtime? How do you do that? How? Okay, that's insane. Okay. So I don't know if anyone in the chat remembers Super Bowl 51 and saw that game between the Falcons and the Patriots. It was the yeah. But you know something? Shout out to the 10 people in the chat, in the clouds. What I'll do is, let's see, let me just show another video clip. Just give me a moment. Yeah, you know what? It had to be, it either poor coaching or poor performance, or both. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this.
Had a passenger who had diarrhea all the way through the airplane. After a passenger took a dump down the center aisle, this plane had to turn around and go back to Atlanta. No, I'm not kidding. On September 1st, a Delta A350 took off from Atlanta and it was headed to Barcelona, Spain, but it never got there. One of the over 300 passengers had diarrhea and it got all down the center aisle. This is not a joke. And when the pilot was asked why he wanted to come back to Atlanta, he said, quote, "It's just a biohazard issue. We had a passenger who had diarrhea all the way through the airplane, so they want us to come back to Atlanta." The flight ended up being delayed just over 8 hours. I can't imagine how irritated those passengers were, but they ended up having to replace the carpet in the plane. Delta said in a PR message, "We sincerely apologize to our customers for the delay and inconvenience to their travel plans." No kidding. This type of incident happens more regularly than you think. Just previously this year, it happened on an Air Canada flight and an Air France flight. This is probably the weirdest story I've ever covered. Had a passenger who had diarrhea all the way through the air.
Okay. I just had to show that little video clip. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap this up. I want to let everybody know that I will be live tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. And the topic will be, what are those things about the job that you hate? Okay. And of course, we all can talk about things about our jobs that we don't like. I'm going to share some things, but of course, it's going to be more carefully worded due to the fact that I am a municipal employee. So, of course, a huge shout out to everyone in the chat. And, huge shout out to all those who are watching on the playback. Okay. And of course, all of you are more than welcome to enter your comments. Just keep it respectable. And of course, I'm going to close this the same way that I always close. We must do everything possible to minimize our contact with the mentally and intellectually challenged. Because if we fail to do so, we will be infected by their stupidity and less insanity. This has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Wishing all of you a good night, take care, and peace.